And the first one you say is don't try to pay your tuition bills with a credit card. Why not?
That's a really big one. Right now, if you're going to try to pay with a credit card, your interest rate's going to be 18% or higher. But if you go direct to the student, to the federal government, students can take out a Stafford loan where there your interest rate's only going to be 5.6%, and you could take out as much as $2,500 a year every year. If you need a little bit more, speak with your parents. With them, they can take out something called a Federal Plus loan. That can go for up to the entire cost of your college tuition, and the interest rate is only going to be 6.8%. So those versus 18%,
yeah.
it becomes really clear that paying with a credit card just doesn't make sense.
That's a huge difference. Now the next tip that you have here is know your annual percentage rate and default interest rate, also your annual fee. This is so important.
Yeah, your APR is how much you're paying year over year over year with that credit card based on the money that you're borrowing. And some of these credit card companies will say, hey, we have this introductory rate. It's a really low APR. The issue is that could rise over time. So you want to ask them, okay, this is an introductory rate, but 6 months from now, is this going to be prohibitively expensive? The annual fee, some credit card companies are going to be paying every year just for the right to have that credit card. And when most college students, 50% or more, have 4 credit cards, or even more than that, that annual fee that you're paying winds up really adding up. Another thing is ask what the default rate is. If you're late on a payment, only 17% of college students are paying each month and getting that monthly bill in. So if you're late on a payment, what is the penalty? You want to be really, really clear about that.
Also, you suggest understand your change of terms policy. Explain that one.
This is something that Congress is going after right now. Most of these credit card companies, if you read the fine print, it actually says that at any given time, they can change the interest that you're paying, and if you are late on the payment, they can change how much that penalty is. So on the fly, without notifying you, you could suddenly be paying 2, 3, 4 times more than you were when you initially signed up. So you want to ask the credit card company, what are your terms and conditions? If you're going to change something, how does that all work?
Yeah, that one's scary enough that you wouldn't even want a credit card, right?
Yeah, but really, it's enough to scare people away because they don't realize what they're getting themselves into.
Your number 4 tip here is if they say you can cancel your card at any time, don't believe it. I recently canceled a card, and let me tell you, I had to fight tooth and nail to cancel it.
Well, that's the thing. You can cancel it, but that doesn't mean they're going to make it easy for you to cancel it. So a lot of times, you're going to have to go through a lot of paperwork. You're going to have to go through multiple calls. You're going to have to do some things online, some things offline. So be aware when they say, oh yeah, you can cancel anytime, it's easy. That might not actually be the case.
Here's your last tip. It says keep only 1 credit card. This is a great one.
Yeah, it's important. The more credit cards you have, the harder it is to balance all this and manage all of it. One credit card we recommend is called Face Card. It's through MasterCard. And that's something, it's a prepaid card, and it's going to allow you to just manage your funds in a more reasonable way. There's no annual fees, there's no sign-up fees, there's no monthly fees. It's really just there for you to manage your money, get used to that process. It's easy to work with online. And another really important thing is you can't overdraw it. You can't spend more than you have. At that point, it'll say card rejected. Because a lot of people will spend more money than they have. They'll incur a fee, and they'll also incur a giant percentage on the money that they spent, and that winds up getting them really deeply into debt.
Now, for those already with credit cards, like you mentioned earlier, you say the best way is just to keep the 1 credit card, and that's basically to build your credit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to make it sound too scary about having a credit card, because if you use it responsibly, you are building your credit. And later on in life, when you're trying to get a house, when you're trying to get a mortgage, in some cases, even employers are asking you, can I see what your credit rating is? Can I do a credit check? You want to show that you've been able to manage this responsibly up until now. But you just need to take those steps. If you are going to have a credit card, make sure that you're using it responsibly so all this is going to turn out positively.
Yeah, and Jordan, do most college students have credit cards?
Yeah, it's more than 80% of college students have a credit card, and more than 50% of college students have 4 or more credit cards. But another thing is, only 1/3 of those college students are talking with their parents about their credit card usage, so they're keeping it very private. And it's that exact third who are often misusing their cards and getting into trouble.
Right. And do their parents help them then with the payments?
That's something that these credit card companies are banking on. It's part of why they try to lure students in. They say, 1, well, if the students spend too much, their parents will help them out. And 2, down the line, because they are a college graduate, they will be able to pay back more because they're going to make more. So they're willing to kind of entrap you at an early age when you're not really ready for this responsibility, just saying someone else is going to bail them out.
And it really is a responsibility, and I guess going into this, you should really realize that.
Absolutely. Yeah, you want to know that you can handle this and you can manage it well.
Yeah, another thing that you suggest, too, is for those that have credit cards to prioritize. What do you mean by that?
That just means make sure that when you're buying things, you're buying the right things with your credit card. You want to buy things that are important, maybe textbooks, not the little frivolous things, but at the same time, make sure you have enough money in your account so that you can pay back whatever it is you're borrowing. If you pay back within a month, you're often not going to be incurring any interest. So kind of responsible credit card usage is I'm only buying what I can pay for, I'm monitoring my account, I'm keeping a budget. You might want to sign up online to get reminders so that you're being pinged in your email account, hey, your credit card bill is coming up soon, so you can make sure you're always paying it on time, and that's how you're going to build up good credit.
Well, as always, Jordan, some great information. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks a lot, and we have more like that on unigo.com.
Thank you very much. Check that out.